We asked you here today because we have an important update regarding yesterday's fatal shooting at the MGM National Harbor. Joining us today are Prince George's County Chief of Police George Nader, Prince George's County Executive Aisha Braveboy, Deputy Chief Administrative Officer Melvin Powell, Assistant Chief George Nichols, Bureau of Investigation Chief Todd Leitner, the commander of our Major Crimes Unit, Major Michael Ebal, and the officer that worked the case, Lead Detective John Goodman. First, I'd like to introduce our Chief of Police, George Nader.
Good afternoon. As you're aware, yesterday, just before 12 in the afternoon, we responded to a shooting at the MGM at National Harbor. When we were on the scene, we located a victim identified as Darnell Hawkins Jr., who had been murdered. The suspect in this case was quickly identified by our detectives and in custody within 14 hours. The arrested is Benjamin Williams. He's from Fort Washington. What's important in this case is when we look at it, the murder of Mr. Hawkins is not a statistic. Mr. Hawkins was a person. He was a father. He was a brother. He was a son. He meant a lot to his family. It meant a lot to his community. So with that, the work that the detectives did in identifying the suspect in this case was outstanding. The speed in which they had him apprehended really is to be commended, and really want to thank them for their work, and also thank the Prince George's County Police Fugitive Unit for locating and arresting him without incident. So the motive in this case, we're still looking into. What played a vital role in solving this case was the caliber of video at MGM at National Harbor. There's almost no areas in the MGM that's not covered by video, and that was instrumental in bringing this case to a swift closure. The defendant is being charged with first-degree murder, second-degree murder, firearm use in the commission of a violent crime, handgun on a person, loaded handgun in a vehicle, first-degree assault, and second-degree assault. He's currently at the Department of Corrections in Upper Marlboro, Maryland, awaiting to see a court commissioner. So with that, I will turn it over to the county executive, and then we will have time for questions at the end.
Thank you, Chief. And good afternoon to everyone. We are here today because Darnell Hawkins Jr. was viciously murdered. Darnell, as was mentioned, was a son. He was a father. He's a brother. He's someone whose life meant something to so many people. And so while we appreciate that we have seen a historic decrease in criminal activity going on in our county, and we're very grateful for that, what we understand is that one life lost is too many. And so today we mourn the death of a young 23-year-old who had his full life ahead of him. I think one of the important things to note is that this was, we believe, a targeted attack, and that there is no general safety issues at MGM. MGM is a safe place to go. This seemed to be a targeted attack on this young man. And we are very, very sad that he's no longer with us. But we are also very heartened to know that the suspect in this case was identified very early, thanks to the work of the Prince George's County Homicide Unit. And I want to thank Lead Detective Goodman for his work and his team's work and the entire police department's work on solving cases. We can't prevent every crime from occurring, but when we're able to solve cases quickly and make arrests, I think it brings some comfort to not only the family, but the community at large. And in this case, it's an example of the hard work that our police detectives do every single day to close cases and to bring justice to families. And so now we will hand off the case to the Office of the State's Attorney. The State's Attorney wanted to be here today, but she was tending to other matters. And we will continue to work with her as we develop the case, hopefully find the motive in this case, which right now we don't have, but we know who did it. We have sufficient video surveillance of the suspect, so we believe we have the right suspect in custody. And we hope to be able to bring closure to this matter. But just know that this time of year is a tough time to lose anyone, especially in this way. And so our hearts really go out to Mr. Hawkins' family, and we want them to know that Prince George is a community that cares, that the department, that my office, the state's attorney's office, and everyone else who will be involved in pursuing this case stands ready to meet their needs as a family during this time. And so thank you again to our chief and to our public safety director, Mel Powell, and to the leadership team here at the Prince George's County Police Department. Truly second to none, second to none. And I thank everyone for being here today. And also thank you to MGM for being great business partners.
At this time, I'd like to introduce the Deputy Chief Administrative Officer for Public Safety, Melvin Powell.
Good afternoon. First of all, I want to start by reiterating what the county executive just stated, as well as Chief Nader. This is a horrific crime, and sometimes it's tough when we, as first responders, when we obviously know there's nothing we can do to prevent every crime, but our hearts, our thoughts, and our prayers go out to the victims, families, and friends, as well as those folks who work in and around the MGM area, who had to witness such a terrible incident yesterday. Not being able to prevent every crime doesn't change the fact that we as law enforcement and first responders, we do everything we can to make sure that we are willing to work around the clock to make sure that we find ourselves in situations like this where we can say a crime occurred and we made an apprehension. Our officers responded within minutes along with our firefighters. They were able to secure the scene, assist victims, gather the witnesses, and work in partnership with our friends and families at the MGM to make sure that we had everything we needed to make sure that this suspect was brought to justice. I also want to reiterate something that Chief Nader stated yesterday. This was a targeted incident, and the MGM is a safe environment. Prince George's County is a safe environment. And we'll continue to put the resources together to make sure that we work in partnership with all of our law enforcement agencies and our community members to make sure that we continue to put Prince George's County in the forefront for safety. Thank you.
And I do want to thank the members of the media for holding some of the information that I know you had yesterday. Preliminary information is often not accurate. That's why we're cautious in what we say when we provide preliminary information. We want to make sure we provide factual information. So with that, we'll take a few questions. Ms. Spencer?
Just wondering, are you still of the belief, was this a chancing or was this victim kind of followed there? And also, I had reached out to MGM about security questions, and they referred me back to Prince George's County Police. Are you satisfied with the security apparatus they have in place, you know, where someone, I mean, obviously got in there with a gun and committed a homicide? Do you feel more is needed there to make it more secure?
So I feel MGM is a secure place. It's like any other business or place where people have public access to. So it's a shopping mall. You don't get checked for weapons when you go into a shopping mall. You know, all of these places, you don't get checked for weapons. If you go into the casino portion, then you do get checked for weapons. But, you know, I feel that it is secure, and we work in partnership with MGM for that to make sure that it is secure. There's a combination of their internal security and Prince George's County Police that patrol the area. So I do believe it's a safe place.
The first part was about whether was this a chance encounter?
So we're still investigating that. We do know that from what it appeared, the suspect knew that the victim was there and may laid in wait until he had his opportunity to find him. Yes, ma'am.
Are you able to talk about what the video surveillance captured? You mentioned that this was very obvious it was a targeted attack. Can you say how and why you know that information?
Yes, and I'll give you generally. We do know, like we said yesterday, that the victim was just standing there ordering his food. The suspect emerged and immediately approached and began shooting at the victim and only the victim, although there was others in there. There was no exchange prior to that. And then once he chased the victim, he continued to shoot him even once the victim fell to the ground. Sir?
Wondering what you can share about the possible relationship between those two people and how they may have known each other, if there's anything you could share at this point.
So it's still under investigation. Though we know we have the person responsible for this murder in custody, the motive we're still working on.
Is there anything you could say about how you all concluded that it was a targeted attack?
Kind of what I just explained. He laid in wait. We saw that on video, and he approached only the victim and began shooting at the victim and chased only the victim. And even once the victim was on the ground, continued to shoot. Okay.
Has the suspect anything or made a confession that he did do this?
No, not at this time. Sir?
Yes. Just had one question, or actually two questions. The suspect, are you guys aware that he have any, I guess, prior criminal history? And are you able to release any information about like where you arrested him or how you were able to find him?
So we are aware that he has prior criminal history, and he was arrested within Prince George's County, and we located him with investigative techniques. Ma'am?
How did he get away from the scene?
He drove,
He drove?
yes.
And then were you able to track his car using what?
We were able to see the car on video, and then we put that lookout out to officers who began searching areas that we felt the vehicle may be in, and they were able to, locate him after investigation. Take two more, sir.
Can you say where you apprehended him?
It was in Prince George's County.
Like on the Beltway?
No, it was at a residence in College Park.
That time frame of when that was, you mentioned 14 hours.
He was in custody within 14 hours of the murder,
Was it this morning?
2 a.m. All right, well, thank you very much. And again, our deepest condolences go out to the family. We know it's a very hard time, especially around the holidays. It's no reason that a 23-year-old should lose their life. Thank you.